The Wind of the Highlands. In the heart of the Scottish Highlands in the 19th century, on the wild whispering lands of the North Wind, stretched Dunvegan, an ancient estate built on hills cloaked in purple heather. It was there that Morag MacLeod lived, daughter of the laird, a young woman with eyes gray like autumn sky and a temperament as untamable as the northern storms. Morag was not a lady like the others. She despised the corsets, scorned conventions, and dreamed of a world where women could ride horses without bonnets and speak aloud without being reprimanded. Her father, old Laird Ewan MacLeod, was a proud man, loyal to the Scottish cause, and harbored deep resentment toward England ever since the Westminster Parliament imposed restrictive laws on the Highlanders after the 1745 rebellion. They broke our clans, burned our tartans, banned our dances, he would often say, but they will never have our soul. Morag grew up bathed in his tales of resistance, yet also by the romances she read in secret, flamboyant love stories, nobility, and tragic destiny. She believed firmly that love had to be passion, pain, and eternity, and she was certain that the man of her life would be Dougal Campbell, the neighbor's son, a young man with gentle manners, lake blue eyes, and pacifist ideas. Dougal loved Morag. It was obvious. But he saw her as a delicate flower, a lady to be protected, cherished, and guided. Yet Morag did not want to be guided. She wanted to dominate, to shine, to be desired for her strength, not for docility. One summer evening, while bagpipes resonated under the stars at a clan gathering, a stranger arrived at Dunvegan. His name was Lachlan Fraser, a Scottish-born merchant who had become naturalized English, returned from the American colonies with a fortune made in tea and tobacco trade. He wore a black kilt, a well-tailored English jacket, and a piercing gaze that seemed to read souls. He spoke with irony, laughed unabashedly, and feared nothing, neither English law nor Highland threats. "I am a man of the world," he told Morag at their first meeting. "Neither wholly Scottish nor wholly English. I am what life has made of me." Morag was fascinated. He was not as handsome as Dougal, but exuded an animal-like power, a confidence no one else possessed. He looked at her as if she were a queen, not a girl to be married, and provoked her. "You play the fierce Highlander, Morag MacLeod, but I see clearly that you dream of more than these hills. You dream of light, wealth, freedom, yet you are afraid to believe it." She both hated and admired him. She fell madly in love without admitting it. Soon after, war broke out. It was not a secession war, but a new Scottish insurrection, a desperate attempt by several clans to overthrow the English yoke and re-establish an independent Scottish parliament. The British government responded with brutal repression. The British army invaded the Highlands, burned villages, imprisoned clan chiefs. Dunvegan became a bastion of resistance. Dougal, despite his pacifist convictions, took up arms to defend his people. Heartbroken, Morag watched him leave, swearing eternal love, yet deep down she knew she did not love him as he deserved. Then the news came. Dougal had been killed at the Battle of Glencoe, riddled with bullets by English soldiers. Morag wept, not only for him, but for the innocence she was losing. The world had changed. War had devastated everything. That's when Lachlan returned. He had left Scotland during the fighting, refusing to take sides. I don't fight for a flag, he said. I fight to survive. Yet upon his return, he found Dunvegan in ruins, fields burnt, livestock dead, servants scattered. Morag, gaunt, eyes hollowed by hunger and pain, still stood like a rock against the storm. You're still here, Lachlan said, impressed. I will never leave, she replied. This land is mine. I will rebuild it. He offered help, money, contacts, boats, everything needed to revive Dunvegan. But at what cost? I want to marry you, he said simply. She initially refused. She hated him for his cynicism, his absence during the war, his insatiable appetite for profit. Yet hunger, fatigue, the crushing responsibility of saving her family and people pushed her to accept. The marriage was cold, almost mechanical. Morag became Morag Fraser. She did not love her husband. She sometimes respected him, but never gave him her heart. Lachlan, for his part, loved her with a violent, jealous, possessive love. He knew she didn't love him, and that drove him mad. One day you will love me, he told her, because you will have no one else. And he was right. Years passed, Dunvegan revived. With Lachlan's money, Morag relaunched farms, opened a distillery, exported whiskey to France and America. She became a feared businesswoman, an indispensable figure in the Highlands. People feared, respected, and envied her, yet her heart remained empty. She bore a daughter, Haylet, with gray eyes like hers and an equally fierce temperament. Lachlan adored her, yet he couldn't stop seeing in her a reminder of Morag's independence, an independence he would never possess. Then one day a man returned. His name was Jan Maktovich, a former comrade of Dougal, wounded during the war, healed in France, and long thought missing. He came back to Dunvegan, limping, his face marked by battle, but his eyes full of tenderness. He brought letters from Dougal, love letters, poems, memories. He spoke to Morag of the man she had lost, of his last words, of his unconditional love. Morag, overwhelmed, wept for the first time in years. She turned to Jan, not out of love, but nostalgia, a need for tenderness, a desire to reclaim a lost part of herself. The clan discovered their meeting. One night, he caught Morag writing to Jan. He exploded. "You have everything," he shouted. "Wealth, power, a daughter, a husband who gave you all. Yet you still cry for a ghost, for a dead dream from 10 years ago?" "I don't understand," she said. "You never loved like that." "I love you," he yelled, with a true violent living love. "He is dead. He never had to endure your whims, your pride, your stubbornness. I'm here every day fighting for you, and you push me away as if I were vermin." He left, slamming the door. Morag stayed alone, heart tight. Days later, a message arrived. The clan had left Dunvegan. He sold his shares, disappeared. "I won't return," he wrote. "You broke me, and I don't want to suffer anymore." Morag ran to the station in the pounding rain, hoping to catch him. She saw him board a train to Edinburgh, his black coat flapping in the wind. "The clan!" she cried. He turned. Their eyes met through the fogged window. "Morag," he said softly, "after everything I've done, Can you still not love me? She opened her mouth, but no word came. Tears streamed down her cheeks. The train shuddered, and he left. She remained on the platform, alone, drenched, broken. Only then, in the pre-war silence, did she realize she had never truly loved Dougal as she thought. He had been an ideal, a memory, an image. But the clan had loved her for what she was. Strong, imperfect, rebellious, alive. He had supported her when everything collapsed. He risked his fortune, his reputation for her. And she had spurned him because he wasn't the youthful dream. "Oh, the clan," she whispered. "I love you. I have loved you deeply, but I only now understand." But it was too late. Months passed, Dunvegan prospered. Morag was no longer the same. She had lost her arrogance, her fire. She tended Edith, managed her affairs, but with profound melancholy. One winter night, as a blizzard howled, a visitor knocked on her door. It was the clan. He was gaunt, older, but his gaze was still piercing. "I have returned," he said simply. "Why?" she asked, trembling. "Because I love you, and now I know you love me too. Even if you don't say it, I see it in your eyes." She melted into his arms and threw herself into his embrace. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry," he sobbed. "It's not too late, Morag. The wind has brought many things, but not us, not yet." Outside, the storm roared, but inside Dunvegan, a fire burned anew. Morag MacLeod never became the meek, submissive woman the Highlands expected. She remained strong, impulsive, sometimes unfair, but she gained humility, and most importantly, learned to love not an ideal, but a real, imperfect man. The clan stayed at Dunvegan. Together, they turned their estate into a symbol of Scottish Renaissance, not through war but through resilience, labor, and love. And when the north winds blew over the hills, people said the spirits of ancient warriors still whispered. Yet now, among the cries of the past, children's laughter could be heard, the crackle of a fire, and the footsteps of a man and a woman walking side by side, heads held high, facing the future. For the wind brings many things, but never all, never hope alone.